The fact that you are here, reading this right now, and that these words are coming to your attention at this very moment on your journey, confirms something you may have thought for a long time, but never had confirmed in a way that your soul could fully accept. You have been chosen. And before your mind tries to ignore that, know this: I didn't choose you. You weren't picked by a random algorithm or an outside force. You were chosen because of a frequency, an exact, one-of-a-kind pattern of energy that you've had in your quantum field your whole life. You are a soul that is part of a very small group. I call this group Frequency 11. Do not think that is a label, a coincidence, or just a New Age idea. Please understand this. The quantum field, the ocean of infinite potential that makes reality, does not deal in accidents. The only thing it does is resonance. It only deals with frequencies that match. Before your conscious mind could even press play, your nervous system, which is like a sensitive antenna that is always picking up on the quantum world around you, picked up on something in the energy of this transmission. That feeling, that slight pull, that stopped you from scrolling wasn't by chance. That was sound resonance. That was your whole body, including your DNA, finally finding a clear picture of the truth it has been looking for. You can't join Group 11. You don't take on that label. You don't need to make a new identity. That you are known for something you have always been. It is a cosmic confirmation of a frequency you have been working on, sometimes by yourself, even though you couldn't put a name to it. Take a moment to share this transmission as you feel the truth land in you. This frequency is being felt by someone in your life who feels the same way you did when you were lost. When you share, you're not just clicking a button, you're sending out a message. A quantum signal, or lifeline, is being sent out by you to connect with another Frequency 11 soul who is waiting for this exact confirmation. Not everyone who watches this will feel the way I do. The words that are coming will not make everyone see themselves in them. That's fine. The probability track for their journey is different. But if you are still here, if something in your chest just moved, if hearing those words made you feel a strange mix of relief and nervousness, then you already know. You've known all along. You've been asking questions that don't have easy, straightforward answers. There are parts of reality and other possibilities that you've been sensing that most people around you don't see. Being on a path that doesn't fit into anyone's existing map has made you feel like you were made for a purpose you couldn't quite explain and a world you couldn't quite see, but could feel. The reason this message got to you is that your consciousness has been sending out a signal, a strong broadcast into the unified field, looking for the frequency that will break the loop of your confusion. Because the universe is so smart, it responded by leading you to this exact transmission. It's not just a video, it's a frequency. You should subscribe to this channel right away if you feel this resonance. Don't think of it as downloading something. Think of it as a quantum entanglement act. By consciously tuning your own frequency to this band, you are making sure that your field stays in sync with these truths as they continue to show up. Please allow me to describe what your inner world has been like. This is the confirmation you have been looking for. There is the reality that most people live in. It's the world of consensus reality, where everything makes sense in a straight line. Goals have results in that world. People have predictable roles, and everyone seems to be happy with simple explanations and standard milestones. They are engaged in what quantum physicists refer to as an observer loop, which is a never-ending cycle in which their awareness keeps collapsing the same probability waves, resulting in the same reality, patterns, and constraints. And this is normal for them. Then there's the real world you live in. The one where nothing seems as easy as other people say it is. The one where every answer only makes three more in-depth questions. There is a reality where you can feel strong, energetic currents moving beneath normal conversations. This is the place where you notice patterns in your life and the world around you that make sense to you and seem almost planned, but no one else can see them. You have become a master translator by learning how to live in both worlds at the same time. You've had to translate your real, deep, multidimensional experience into simple, flat language that other people can understand, even though you know that every time you do this, you lose something important. This has made me feel a deep and strange kind of alone. There is a frequency dissonance. You've seen friends, family, co-workers, and other people close to you go after things with complete and utter certainty. They believe without question in paths that, when you look at them, feel hollow and empty. Some part of you just can't fully join in when they talk about their wins, their 5-year plans, and their unwavering faith in the way the world works. I don't think it's because you're fake. It's not because you're broken or cut off. Because your awareness, your quantum sensitivity, won't let you miss how complicated things are that they aren't seeing. Nobody can act like the collapsed probability wave they call reality is the only one that's out there. There are many times when you've looked around a room, at a party, at work, or at a family dinner, and asked yourself, does anyone else feel this? Does anyone else feel how heavy what's not said is? Does anyone else see how important what is being ignored is? You've thought about whether this makes you broken in some way. Whether everyone else got a set of instructions on how to be human, but you didn't. You've thought about whether your antenna is set to the wrong station, or whether you're just picking up noise that no one else can hear. But this truth will make everything different. Here is the idea that you need to take into your very cells. What you've been going through is not a flaw. It's not a problem. That's what it does. Your system, or consciousness, is working at a frequency range that doesn't work with the collective observer loop. You're not hurt. You're smarter now. Your mind has been refusing to settle on the small, repetitive frequencies that would keep you in the same loop as everyone else and limit your range. Your pain wasn't a sign that something was wrong. It showed that your soul was honest. Your quantum field stayed true to its higher frequency instead of getting smaller to fit the smaller containers of consensus reality. Being alone wasn't a punishment. It was a shield. Your signal stayed clean until you were ready to figure out what it was for. It was like a divine quarantine. As you feel that, please take a moment to like this video. It's not just a click, it's an act of resonance. This frequency finds its way into your energy field and is accepted. By interacting with the quantum field in this simple way, you can make this validation even stronger and start to solidify it as your new reality. If you feel this truth in your heart, I want you to make it real in your mind. Say it out loud in the comments. I am not broken. I am expanding. Let the fact that you typed that statement be a quantum signal, a message from your mind to the unified field. You are now stepping into the new, coherent reality of your advancement and letting go of the old, tired possibility of being flawed. You are putting that truth into physical form. Let's talk about that path you've been walking that doesn't go in a straight line. Your path has given you a lot of trouble and made you doubt yourself. People outside of you and even your own logical mind may think that your life is all over the place, full of side trips that didn't make sense, full of complete turns that made you give up everything you had just built. It was full of long, painful periods of fog and solitude where you felt totally lost. You've seen other people carefully climb a ladder while you've been getting lost in a strange, crazy maze. None of it was just chaos. It wasn't a waste of time. It was the lesson plan, the beginning of your journey. This was the next level of your training. Every time you felt lost, the universe, or your higher self, took away a false map from your hands. And it was making you stop looking for directions outside so that you would have to finally come up with your own internal navigation system, one that was based on quantum knowing instead of logical projection. Each time of being very alone was a quantum gestation chamber. It was made to give you a sacred energetic space where you can hear the low frequencies that are lost in the constant noise of other people's thoughts, expectations, and observer loops. When your world fell apart and you had to question everything you thought you knew, you were trained in a level of consciousness that most people never reach because they don't need to. The normal path follows a completely different set of quantum laws than frequency 11. You can't just move forward without any problems. You're not sure what will happen next, which is not comforting. There is no such thing as solid, stable ground that doesn't move under your feet. You instead become initiated through doubt. During times when nothing outside of you confirms that you are on the right path, you get stronger. You are shaped by phases where all the things that have held you down in the past, your job, your relationships, your identity, and your beliefs, fall apart at the same time. You didn't do anything wrong to deserve this. This was the specific, high-level training you needed to do what you are about to do. The person you are becoming and the job you were put here to do require a certain level of adaptability, strength, and clarity of vision that can only be gained by going through repeated cycles of total breakdown and rebuilding. Take a deep breath. As an act of quantum integration, click the like button if you think this curriculum is appropriate for your students. In this very moment, you are sending an energetic pulse of thanks and acceptance back through your own timeline. You are waking up the wisdom that has been dormant during those struggles and recognizing that every chaotic step led to this moment of clarity. It wasn't a problem with your wiring that made you feel cut off from other people. It was a trait. Your system wouldn't quantum entangle with frequencies that would have limited your potential. This is what would have collapsed your wave function into a smaller, more predictable version of you that wasn't as real. You've been in rooms full of people laughing and talking and still felt completely and utterly alone. Not because you can't connect with others, but because your awareness was picking up on different parts of the situation at the same time that they weren't paying attention to. You felt suffocated by the conversation's smallness because your mind was also tracking the bigger patterns in the universe. Their worries didn't seem normal to you because you could already feel a field of endless possibilities that they couldn't even think of yet. In a strange way, this made two realities. On the outside, you learned to nod and smile to show that you were interested, but your real awareness was working on a totally different frequency and getting information from a totally different source. This is where most people get the story of what happened wrong. They see that dissonance as proof that they are not good enough. They see it as proof that they are missing something very important. But quantum mechanics shows us something very important. The observer effect shows us that our thoughts change the world around us. When your consciousness is that big, not being able to fully participate in a smaller, more limited reality isn't a flaw. It has expanded bandwidth. Your system wouldn't fall apart. Because it was too busy maintaining coherence with a much bigger, better, and more real set of possibilities, it refused to observe the limited reality that everyone else was agreeing upon. There was nothing wrong with that discomfort. It was a win. It was your quantum field staying true to its natural frequency instead of getting smaller to fit into boxes that were already set up. If you can finally see the truth in this, if you can see your struggles as your initiation, I want you to hold on to this deep understanding right now. Make a comment that says, "My past was my curriculum." This is more than just a comment. It's a powerful act of integration. You are taking your energy away from any timelines that involve regret or shame and rewriting your whole history as one of preparation instead of failure. Now is the time to take it all back. That every skill you had to work on in those quiet, lonely times of not fitting in is about to become very, very important. Your timeline had a break in it. For some of you, it was not long ago. Some people remember it like it was yesterday, but for you, it was years ago. It was a time when everything you thought you knew about yourself fell apart. It wasn't a slow process. The change didn't happen slowly. It felt sudden and terrible. It felt like someone pulled on a single thread, and in what felt like seconds, your whole carefully woven sense of who you were fell apart. This is the thing that makes Frequency 11 unique. I call it the Great Dissolution. It seemed like everything you thought you knew about yourself, your goals, and your path just fell apart. In your hands, it turned into dust. You probably asked yourself more than once if you were crazy during that breakup. There was nothing that used to motivate you that still did. A few weeks ago, goals that seemed very important now seemed completely pointless. It was strange how relationships that used to give me stability and comfort now felt suffocating and tiring. What other people knew about you, or what they thought you would be, felt like an old, heavy costume that you couldn't stand to wear any longer. It's possible that you wondered if you were having a clinical breakdown, a mental crisis that no one could possibly understand. Yes, you were right. They couldn't. The way they talk, think, and understand psychology doesn't have any categories for what was happening to you. Because you weren't breaking down, which you didn't understand at the time, but can see clearly now. You were making progress. That dissolution did not mean the end of something important. It was being free from everything that was hiding something important. Your true self, your core frequency, or your quantum signature, was finally getting strong enough to push away anything that wasn't in line with it. It was like your consciousness was decollapsing from all the false probability waves you had learned to notice. It was making room. It was a controlled demolition that made room for what is real in you to finally come out, without all the constructed and conditioned identities that were in the way. This was the end of your phase transition. A phase transition in physics happens when a substance changes what it is made of, like water at a certain temperature turning into steam. It's not more water or hotter water. It changes into something else with a different structure and set of properties. You are now moving into that phase. Make this frequency your new energetic baseline and subscribe to support this significant change. The universe will know that you are not going back to the old, dense patterns when you do this. You are committing to your new state of being and filling your quantum field with the steady energy it needs to support its bigger shape. This is what took place with you. It got to a certain boiling point where the old, dense patterns of the collective observer loop could no longer hold you. The pressure of your true frequency got so high that it had to break through the walls of your old life. It wasn't proof that you did something wrong that you were alone after this breakup. It had to be done as part of the process. You needed to get away from the constant, annoying noise of other people's expectations. You needed to get away from the world's overall frequency, which was still set on wavelengths you were quickly outgrowing. You needed to be alone, long enough for you to hear your own truth without any other noise getting in the way. There had to be a place where you could feel the pull of your real path, without all the annoying people telling you were crazy, lost, and needed to return to reality. And during those quiet months, or maybe even years, something unique was growing below the surface of your everyday life. You were building the most important skill for the next stage of human evolution. You were putting together quantum sovereignty, the ability to rely on your own knowledge, even when it directly contradicts consensus reality, is known as quantum sovereignty. To be able to stand in your own truth when you have to do so alone, and to feel that aloneness not as abandonment, but as coherence. It takes strength to pick being yourself over the short-term comfort of being liked over and over again. To pick growth over safety. Choose to be in tune with your true frequency over the comfortable, familiar frequencies that are no longer yours. This level of inner authority is something that most people never reach. They don't need to. They go through life with the help of outside approval, common sense, and the comfort of other people in their observer loop agreeing with them. But you need frequency 11 consciousness to build a totally different base. The lessons you've been given have made you learn to trust that small voice inside you. The one who doesn't yell but never lies. The one who doesn't speak in loud, logical certainty but in whispers, goosebumps, a feeling of rightness, and a knowing that is quiet. It seems like you're ready to stop looking outside for answers and fully trust the system of guidance you had to build. If you feel this shift happening inside you, say this in the comments below. I trust my quantum sovereignty. Allow this to be a vibrational anchor for your whole body. When old patterns of self-doubt try to get in the way, this statement will remind your cells of the new, more coherent frequency you have chosen to live by. You are now taking back your power from all outside authorities. Now, you can start to see the results of that almost impossible process. You are seeing it show up in the outside world in ways that are getting harder and harder to explain away as coincidences. People react in different ways when you speak from this place of deep inner knowing. They listen in different ways. They stop arguing and start to ask more in-depth questions. When you make choices from this stable, centered place instead of the old, frantic ones of trying to get approval or staying out of conflict, doors that used to be locked open, they open on their own, without being pushed. When you just show up as this more real, whole version of yourself, chances come up that seem almost too good to be true. Timeliness builds on itself. It seems like the world itself is working together to help you. This is what happens after the frequency 11 initiation process is over. The outside world starts to show your inner state in a different way. Why? Because the frequency from which you are broadcasting is different. Because you are a new observer, you are bringing a new reality together. I want this, but I'm afraid of that. But I should do this, is no longer a scattered, coherent signal coming from your mouth. It sounds like you are sending out a single, clear, coherent signal. And you are just now starting to learn that that signal, that frequency, has magnetic properties. Things that go with it will move toward you. Things that don't fit fall apart with a lot less trouble and conflict than ever before. Now that you're more experienced, your intuition is more than just a flash or a hunch. It's turning into a constant, subtle way to find your way. Before people even finish their sentences, you can feel the energy behind what they say. You can tell the difference between truth and lies before your mind has a chance to look at the facts. This isn't some kind of magical power. This is what happens naturally and biologically when you spend a lot of time getting to know your inner guidance system very well, until that relationship takes over as your main way of navigating and your logical mind becomes secondary. Press the like button to declare your new allegiance if you are ready to take back control and let your inner knowing be your main guide. This action in the physical world sends a coherent ripple into the quantum field, which makes it easier for your nervous system to hold on to this new power. In real time, your quantum sovereignty is activated when you confirm your own being. The most interesting and life-changing change that might happen during this phase is how you relate to time. Not in a figurative way. In fact, time seems like a prison to most people. It runs out all the time. It's never enough. It makes them feel like they need to rush through each moment so they can get to a future time when they think things will finally be different. You are learning, though, that time is not set in stone. Time moves around. You can stretch it, and it changes based on your mental state. You can bend time around your focus when you are in the flow state or operating from your true frequency. What used to take you a whole week of forced, angry work, you now do in 2 focused, happy hours. You were both working in Kairos time, which is quantum or opportune time. So conversations that seemed to last only minutes turned out to last 90 minutes. Neither of you noticed because Chronos time was suspended. This is not thinking like a magician. This is how quantum mechanics works in real life. When you're in coherence, you're not having to fight the huge resistance that comes from being fragmented inside. Most people lose 90% of their life force because different parts of themselves are pulling them in different directions, making them do things they don't want to do while they wish they were somewhere else. It's that resistance that causes energetic drag. It makes even easy things hard to do. But that friction goes away when you are aligned and all of your parts are moving in the same direction, and everything speeds up. We are now at the point of manifestation. It seems like you're starting to understand something about making your reality that most teachings miss. The old way of manifesting says to picture what you want, tell yourself what you want, and keep images of your perfect future in your mind. And if it doesn't happen, they say you weren't high vibe enough, you didn't believe hard enough, or you had subconscious blocks. This sets off a tiring cycle of blaming yourself for not being able to change your consciousness into the right state to make reality work. A completely new and infinitely more potent mechanism is revealed by frequency 11 consciousness. You are not manifesting if you try to get what you want from the universe. You bring things into the world by becoming such a clear, coherent signal that the world naturally arranges itself around your frequency. This is the big secret that changes everything. It's time to make this truth your new operating system if it sounds more real to you than any manifestation technique you've ever used. Put this in the comments. I manifest from coherence. Let the fact that you are writing these words tell the quantum field that you are done trying, forcing, and chasing. This is different from attracting. You are now broadcasting. This is you saying that you're ready to see your new, coherent reality reflected in front of you. Not wanting, picturing, or affirming is what it's not about, for coherence's sake. Here's how to look at it. The old way is like a single, dim searchlight that is looking for one thing very hard in the dark. It takes work. It means striving. It comes from not having the thing. The new way, called Frequency 11, is like the sun. It doesn't try to shine on just one flower. It just makes sense. It's shining, and just by being what it is, its frequency and light bring life to the whole landscape. You stop trying to bring about certain results, and things start to show up based on your frequency. Question: how do I get that thing I want? From this new state of being, what wants to emerge through me? It's a small difference, but it changes everything. By always wanting what you don't have, one way of thinking keeps you stuck in a state of lack. The other way of looking at it says that you are already whole and complete, and that manifestation is just the natural, effortless expression of what is already in your quantum field and waiting to take shape in the real world. That's why a lot of your old goals lost their power. This is why your old wants went away. Those were not your wants. The probabilities they used came from the collective observer loop and were false desires. They were things you were taught to want in order to show how valuable you are, to look good, and to feel safe. People who had those false desires, or probability graphs, couldn't survive your great dissolution because they weren't rooted in who you really were. Now, real wants are starting to show. Feelings that come from your core frequency and not from your programming. You can tell the difference, right? False desires make you feel anxious, like you're holding on to something and afraid that if you don't push and force it, it won't happen. When you really want something, you feel a pull, a feeling of what will happen. There is peace and quiet when you know that you are not making something happen, but rather letting something happen through you. Even when you get what you want, false desires wear you out. Your true desires give you energy because they are a natural reflection of who you are and not a show. Subscribe now to make sure you don't miss out on this new creative source. Your connection to the collective field of other frequency 11 souls is strengthened by this action. Such a strong morphic resonance makes it easier for all of us to hold on to this new, coherent reality. It's a type of quantum entanglement. No longer are you working alone, you've joined the network. Today, if you have been through the fire of dissolution and can finally see what it was all for, I want you to honor that amazing journey. My dissolution was my liberation. Say it out loud in the comments. This is more than just a sentence. It's a promise of complete freedom. It is you telling the universe and your own subconscious that timelines based on shoulds and false programming are no longer possible. From now on, you will only be open to what is real. This leads us to your goal. What it is that you're here to do. You've probably felt antsy at work or in your career at times. You can tell that what you're doing now isn't going to help you get where you want to go. It feels like a cage to be in that old job or role. This is because your frequency has changed, but the outside world hasn't caught up yet. The way you're vibrating is different from how things are right now, and that difference is making things too tense to bear. This is what is becoming clear about what you've done. Souls of frequency 11 are not called to save the world. You're not here to help or fix anyone. You're not here to try to wake up people who aren't ready to do so. You're not here to convince people who don't believe in you or to prove something to them. That's how people used to think about effort and force. Your job is much more powerful and subtle than mine. You're here to keep a frequency. You are meant to be a frequency bridge. People who are ready to shift or looking for a new possibility need a clear, stable signal to tune into. It's your job to keep your own frequency so stable, consistent, and obviously real. It's not your job to push, pull, or trick people. You need to be so genuinely yourself that you turn into a living, breathing tuning fork. If reading this description of your purpose makes you feel a deep, quiet, and sure yes, then it's time to live it out fully. Join me in making this promise in the comments below. My frequency is my purpose. Write this down as your new mission statement. It lets the unified field know that you have stopped looking for your purpose and are now being your purpose by holding your own true, stable, and coherent frequency. Right now is when your real work starts. This frequency can now be sent through you. Right now, your last act of service is to share this video. Share more than just a link. You're giving out a quantum activation code. You are sending this coherent light to other souls in the network who are ready to awaken, just like you are. You're no longer just listening. You're being sent. Make this signal stronger and turn on the field. When people come into your field or are in your presence, they will feel something even if you don't say anything. Parts of them that are real will be able to tell which parts of you are real. They will unconsciously be able to access their own coherence because of how coherent you are. This is why you needed to be alone so much. That's why your classes were so hard. Maintaining a stable frequency for other people is something you can't do until you've done it for yourself first. You can't show someone the way to a place you haven't been yourself. You can't send a signal that you don't have yourself. The base was all the time you spent by yourself, doing the work on yourself for months and years, without any outside reward or praise. You were making the energetic structure inside you strong enough to hold the frequency that is now starting to send out through you. You are broadcasting whether you are trying to stop it or not. Because you are unique, people are responding to you in different ways. When you walk into a room, the energy changes. When you talk, people pay very close attention. Even though you're not saying anything, your presence still says something important. This is not about getting elevated or special over other people. This is about being so true to yourself that the mask, or the difference between what you really are and how you show it to the world, finally falls off. Being present in a real way is more magnetic than performance or personality ever is. You are standing at a threshold that has been getting closer for longer than you are aware of right now. As these words hit you, everything you've been through is behind you. You have grown out of every version of yourself. You've burned every false map, every lesson that helped you become able to be here, right now. A timeline that is about to unfold in ways that will amaze you is stretched out in front of you. Not because they happen at random, but because they are perfectly lined up with patterns you couldn't see until you got to this vantage point. Your gifts are no longer waiting for the right place to be shown. The platform is putting itself together right now based on how ready you are. It's not a coincidence that you are getting this message at this time. Indeed, it is a quantum confirmation. At this very moment, something has been building up in your energetic field that has been going on your whole life. You've had a feeling of it. There was something charged in the air. When you feel like reality is less solid and more fluid, like the barrier between your intention and its realization has become surprisingly thin. You're not making this up. You are now in tune with your true frequency, and the quantum field, the outside world, is finally catching up to the deep change that has already happened inside. Group 11. You're not early or late with your time. It's right on. Even with the delays and detours, your path is not unfolding. It is going on because of them. They were the things that were needed. The breakthrough is becoming clear in all the things that felt like a breakdown. Everything that looked like an ending was really just the start of something new, hidden so it could fully change. If this message makes you feel understood, if your body says yes deep down, if you finally feel seen, then I want you to do something. Please type this exact phrase in the comment section below. My name is Frequency 11. This comment is not a joke. This isn't for me or an algorithm. A quantum declaration has been made here. In this way, you are breaking the old pattern of passive consumption on purpose. This shows that you are not only intellectually understanding these ideas, but also taking a stand for your part in this shift. When you type those words, they send a coherent signal through your nervous system. This signal tells your cells and the quantum field what you have been feeling. As a timestamp in your mind, it marks the moment when you consciously knew what you were instead of just wondering. So, take a moment. Read the comments. Say it out loud. My name is Frequency 11. There is one more thing I want you to do. In the comments, I want you to drop one word right after your quote. Just one. The word that best describes the energy, intention, or change you want to make as you move forward from now on. Not a single word that moves you or sounds spiritual. The word that is fully and truly alive in you right now. The word could be coherence. The word could be sovereignty. I think it might be embodiment. It might be peace. It might be flow. When you anchor your intention or personal frequency into the collective field, this is what it looks like. It's an energetic signature. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Do more than just subscribe to a channel, though. Sign up for this frequency. It's not about getting content when you subscribe. At this point, it's about you making a choice. You are telling the universe and your nervous system that this alignment is important, that you want to keep having this conversation instead of letting it be a brief high point that fades. Additionally, the signal in the collective field gets stronger as more of us choose to work from this frequency. Your subscription doesn't just sit there. It means that you are taking part in the change that is happening through you, not just to you. Things are going to make sense soon. You are about to live a real-life experience of what it's like to navigate from your own inner quantum knowing. This isn't because life will be easy or problems will go away, and that means everything is different. There is something else going on right now that you need to understand about this exact moment and why you are seeing yourself as Frequency 11. Your new coherence is changing the quantum field itself, and your next moves are being amplified in ways you've never felt before.